and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Once again, Bernie Sanders is telling you that now we're going to fight for Medicare for all. I can't help but wonder where he was at for Force the Vote or March for Medicare for All when people were asking the Democrats to hold his good friend. That's right, Bernie. You said he's your good friend, Joe Biden's feet to the fire. Now, again, what I find completely disappointing by the Democrats, by the progressive Democrats, the Justice Democrats, the Just Us Democrats, is that they're doing this fight. And I have to wonder, okay, well, is this all for show? And it looks like it's just for show. So I want to first pull up this video from Case Study QB. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. He is wrongly being censored. Elon Musk, you need to fix that right away, buddy. And so here we have Senator Bernie Sanders and Democrats introducing the Medicare for All bill. And to be clear, 112 lawmakers are reportedly co-sponsoring the bill. So here we go again. Here we go again with the madness. So let's go ahead and play it.
Renewing their push for the Medicare for All bill led by Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Lawmakers have just introduced the Medicare for All Act of 2023 to the Senate and House. The bill would set up a single payer program allowing one source to collect all health care fees and pay all health care costs. 112 lawmakers have reportedly co-sponsored the bill. That's the most co-sponsors the House has ever had at the introduction of the bill.
People say, well, Medicare for all, you want to guarantee health care to all people, that's expensive. It is, but it is less expensive than the dysfunctional, broken system that we have right now.
Now, remember, Bernie, your good friend, Joe Biden, said he is not for Medicare for all. In fact, he argued against it during the 2020 Democratic primary. He's not going to sign it. He would veto it. Those are his words. And his words alone. Hell, I remember when Kamala Harris said something similar about being in support of Medicare for all. Remember that? We have to go into the Wayback Machine. But then did she do a backpedal flip somersault in the air just to reverse that position? Because let's face it, the corporate donors, especially the healthcare insurance industry and big pharma, will not tolerate the talk or the conversation for Medicare for all. And to be very clear here, we do need it. But the Democrats, the corporate party, the corporate institution, in fact, I saw this on Twitter, and I need to get the person's name again, but they tagged Hard Lens Media and RBN and a few other media networks saying, hey, maybe you should call the Democratic Party not the party, but a corporation, because that's what they are. The corporate bigwigs in the Democratic institution want to deny you Medicare for all.
The Kaiser Family Foundation says its researchers discovered almost 1 in 10 adults currently owe medical debt. That's approximately
1 in 10. Whoa, really? According to their research? Listen, that research is kind of old news there, lady. But hang on, folks. Here's how I know that this bill for Medicare for all will go nowhere. Listen to this heavyweight champion, this fighter. That's right, you know who she is. Representative Pramila Jayapal, who never once failed at anything. Hear her own words.
I'm Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and I'm so proud to be the lead.
God, oh no, they're playing that cheerful music too. Oh, hi. We're going to introduce Medicare for All bill. It's not going to go anywhere, but trust me on it, folks. Like, we're here to tell you that it's going to be something good, but you got to donate to the Democratic Party. You got to give us money, baby. That's what we need. You got to give us the money so we can kind of fight for you. And then as soon as we get enough of us elected into office, we're just going to fart in your face.
Sponsor of Medicare for All Act of 2023 in the House of Representatives.
Listen to that cheerful music. Please, if you're driving on to work right now, try not to road rage as you're hearing this cheerful music, as they say they're going to fight for you.
This is groundbreaking, transformative legislation.
Transformative.
It would reinvent our healthcare system. No more premiums, copays, deductibles, or hidden fees. Mental health is included, long-term care, reproductive care, dental, vision, and hearing. All of
Didn't Roe v. Wade die under Biden? Huh, interesting.
these things are included. The comprehensive care that we all deserve. affirming that healthcare is a human right.
Every American has the right to health care, period. When you're sick, you should be able to go to the doctor. You shouldn't be worried about whether you can afford your medicine. And if you have a preventative test and find out that you have cancer or another illness that needs treatment, whether you can even afford the treatment.
Hi, we're U.S. politicians. We have gold-plated health care. We make a six-figure salary, and we have other wonderful social benefits. And when it came time to do our own forced vote way back in 2021, when there were 15 congressional members of the Progressive Caucus who could have done something and formed a voting bloc to actually fight for you, they did nothing. Us Democrats want to say things you want to hear. We promise we won't smack you in the face again. We promise we won't steal money from you. We promise we won't cheat on you. The Democrats, every election year, same thing for Republican lawmakers too. Every election year, they're that abusive, cheating, stealing partner that says, "Oh, this time it's going to be different. Just take me back. Take me back, and it's going to be so different this time. You just got to trust me." And again, I like how they're pulling up the false hope. Someone in the live stream chat just wrote, "There's no better hope than false hope."
It's time.
It's time.
Once and for
Yes,
all,
it's time.
guarantee all Americans that if they're sick, they can go to the doctor.
Hey, this is Congressman Maxwell Frost, proudly representing Florida's 10th Congressional District.
I'm Summer
Wait, didn't Maxwell Frost give a middle finger to his supporters?
Lee, Congresswoman representing PA 12.
I'm for Medicare for all because I'm for medical care for all.
I am for Medicare for all because in the wealthiest nation on earth, no one should be without health care. And that's why I'm a proud co-sponsor of this bill.
We must pass Medicare for all to help and make sure everyone has good health.
I support Medicare for all because health care is a basic human right.
I support Medicare for all because
Really? They all support Medicare for all. I don't believe them.
in the United States of America, no one should go bankrupt from medical bills.
I support Medicare for all to build on the Affordable Care Act and finally guarantee affordable health coverage to everyone as a right, not a privilege.
I support Medicare for all because health care is a human right.
I'm proud to support Medicare for all because I believe that healthcare is a human right and that we deserve to be healthy by virtue of being.
How many times have we heard this before? How many times have we heard this before? They support it, but they're not going to support it. How many times have we heard this crap?
I have always supported Medicare for all because healthcare is a human right.
I support Medicare for all because no matter where you live, you deserve access to affordable health care.
I support and have pretty much all my life supported Medicare for all because health care is a human right.
These sociopaths, they could have done it many years ago, the Democrats. They're not going to do it.
100% support and endorse Medicare for all. No one should be without health care, and no one should be without health care that they can't afford.
I support Medicare for all because health care should be a right for everyone. We're the only industrialized nation that doesn't have universal health care.
So you're going to stand up to your corporate donors? What happens when your donor automatically gives you a phone call there, buddy? Huh? What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then?
We can do better, and we do that by having Medicare for everyone.
It's funding time.
I'm proud to support Medicare for all because people should have health care from the day they are born. It's time that every person.
Wait a minute, that's Ro-Khanna. Remember how he said he wouldn't, go all tooth and nail? Go ahead and fight for it. You remember that little conversation? So again, these are nothing but words. It's funding time. They need that money from you. They gotta shake you down. They gotta have that money, baby. They promise it's gonna be different this time. They promise they're gonna take you on trips. They're gonna be cooking and cleaning the house. They're not gonna cheat on you. They're not gonna smack you around.
It's time that every person, every American, has the right and the ability to get quality health care.
I know it is so critically important to make sure that health care is a human right.
Chicago Great One writes, his wife is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but he wants your money. He wants your money. No family, not one, should file for bankruptcy. That's right. To our international audience, in case you don't know, we have a thing called medical bankruptcy. Well, gee, what is a medical bankruptcy? Why is it only exclusively here in America? Because our health care is tied to our jobs. One bad day, you get fired, laid off, you have an accident or an ailment, and oh no, you could lose everything here in the richest country in the world.
No family, not one, should file bankruptcy because they fell ill or they can't afford the medical bill.
Don't you love the cheerful
It's time
music
for
just
Medicare
coming
for
in?
all.
Just feel it.
Medicare for all will close
feels
coverage
good.
gaps that deny too many Americans the health care that they need.
When I was the chairman of the Rules Committee, we held the first ever hearing on Medicare for all, and it was extraordinary. Look, I believe that healthcare ought to be viewed as a fundamental human right for every single person in this country.
But will you fight for it? You say you're going to fight for it, but will you? Will you fight for it? Because as soon as old hagbag Nancy hears something, or what if Hakeem Jeffries decides to put his foot down and says, nah, we're not going to do that. Then what?
And the only way to get there is through Medicare for all.
It's time for Medicare for all. Y'all know what that is? That's universal free health care.
Huh. Gee, Jamal Bowman. Weren't you on that force to vote petition? Remember when we were asked? We had to keep our powder dry? Maybe this is Cenk Uygur's moment where finally, the powder is now dry enough and we could use it.
For everyone.
They've never backed away from supporting the best quality care that we can have for every American. Medicare for all.
I am so excited about this movement. We have more support than
Yeah, great. A movement, a bowel movement. That's what we're dealing with, okay? That's the bowel movement right here. Shout out to Jimmy Dore. Because, we have to bring some sanity back in the world. Here's Jimmy Dore. Remember, hashtag force to vote was just theater. But this political move where you wait till your party loses power to introduce important legislation, then use 0% of your leverage to get it voted on or implemented isn't theater. Hashtag frauds. That's the perfect summary of that goddamn 4-minute video. But just so you all know what kind of system we have and what kind of scumbags are ruling over us, hey, look, I played this video yesterday. That's Barack Obama. Listen very carefully. We're not going to get Medicare for all, okay? We're not. The Democrats had a supermajority in the Senate and House when this man was president. Not going to happen, period.
There are those on the left who believe that the only way to fix the system is through a single-payer system like Canada's, where we would severely restrict the private insurance market and have the government provide coverage for everybody. On the right, there are those who argue that we should end employer-based systems and leave individuals to buy health insurance on their own. I have to say that there are arguments to be made for both these approaches.
Both. Compromise. We're not going to do it. Medicare for all, like Canada. Affordable health care. Affordable prescription drugs. Not on my watch.
But either one would represent a radical shift that would disrupt the healthcare most people currently have. Since healthcare represents 1/6 of our economy, I believe it makes more sense to build on what works and fix what doesn't, rather than try to build an entirely new system from scratch.
And here, I played this yesterday. Here's all the sociopaths clapping, knowing that nothing will fundamentally change. After all, Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act, which is really Romney Care, came from the conservative think tank, the big brain think tank at the Heritage Foundation. Richest country in the world. Here, once again, we're going to start from the beginning, and you're going to see all these fantastic senators, both Democrat and Republican, clapping, knowing that they're still going to get that fat paycheck from big pharma and the healthcare insurance industry. Here, watch.
An entirely new system from scratch.
Woo! They're clapping. Arf, arf, arf. Nothing but seals. Just clapping. Here, watch again. I hope it boils your blood. It should get you all of you angry.
rather than try to build an entirely new system from scratch.
There you go. So even when pushed to it, the Democrats won't fight for you. Because when we did try and bring the ruckus, we were told that we were violent.
Medicare for all.
That's garbage. You can do it right now. We need 15 Democrats.
Hi, Jimmy.
We need the elected officials that you helped get elected to tell Nancy Pelosi that you will not vote for her as Speaker unless Medicare for all is put on the House floor for a vote.
I also want to acknowledge somebody here in the live stream chat, and I want to make sure we get this correct. Optimism of the will at Ryan Ragnar. Any carpenter can tell you what happens when you build on a flawed foundation. That's right. And Obama wanted to build on the foundation of what's already being used. How's that working out for you? Now, look, I've been told I'm mean to these Democratic lawmakers, that I'm being cruel. Sometimes I poke fun at them. But at this point, all those people in that 4-minute video, they're not going to fight for you. Listen again. We're going to play this video from the beginning. Because when we tried to bring the ruckus or ask our progressive lawmakers to fight for us for a forced vote, they didn't lift a goddamn finger.
Get a floor vote on Medicare for all.
That's garbage. You can do it right now. We need 15 Democrats.
Hi, Jimmy.
We need the elected officials that you helped get elected to tell Nancy Pelosi that you will not vote for her as Speaker unless Medicare for all is put on the House floor for a vote.
I think it's a really smart idea.
You know, the worst abuse of power, Crystal, is not using the power you have to fight for people.
Will they? Time to let AOC know they have no other option, because we're watching and we see through their bullshit excuses.
We have to put public pressure on them.
I want to see who's going to vote against healthcare in the middle of a pandemic. If you're not going to do it now, you are never going to do it, you phony.
All the people who filled up your voicemail, they're going to remember whether you did the right thing here.
Which side are they really on? This is where you force progressive House members to reveal who they answer to. Do they answer to their constituents, or do they answer to the party bosses? Listen to AOC's own words.
The Democratic Party does not do more unless it is pushed.
And so this moment is the great unmasking.
Force it to happen.
Ask them, are you fighters or are you careerists? Are you activists for the people, or are you...
Hey, all those people that were in that 4-minute video, I saw Jamal Bowman, Pramila Jayapal. How did they respond to us for forced to vote? Radio silence. AOC said we're being violent. And there was a time when Sammy Boy Cedar and Fat Tony, Cenk Uygur, were actually on board, until all of a sudden they did a little flip-flop. Wonder who gave them a phone call. I guess they didn't like the idea of holding the squad accountable, because, oh no, then they wouldn't have access to have them on their show, even though AOC and the squad haven't really come back onto TYT for quite some time. Even Cenk Uygur admitted that.
Posers on Twitter.
Everyone's going to try to tell you that if you're just a little bit nicer, then it'll be fine. No.
The whole point of protesting is to make people uncomfortable.
Let's see. And Dr. Nick Riviere in the live stream chat asks, what happened to that AOC? It's called an act. She put on a mask for you. That's what she did to all of us. She pretended to care. We were just on her roster. That's all. A roster of suckers to vote for her. And then she moved on. She had to move on to bigger and better things, like Met Gala events. And, be on the cover of Vogue. She left us. The darling of the DSA. She left us. She cheated on us. She was always a cheater.
Got to make them uncomfortable. She's pretending to be part of a movement when she's really running cover for Nancy Pelosi. Did you think anybody voted for you so you could vote Nancy Pelosi without getting them anything? This is Medicare for all. People's actual lives depend on us doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's your chance to actually use your leverage. Will you?
Take risks.
Or will you be a party fucking climber?
Start bringing the ruckus on the Democratic Party. Force it to happen. Do not trust any political party to automatically work in your interest.
I call on everybody in independent media to join this mission.
Force it to happen.
Force the Congress to show which side are they really on. No vote for Nancy Pelosi unless Medicare for All is put on the House floor for a vote.
The Democratic Party does not do more unless it is pushed. So we need to push them.
Man, great job, Matt. He goes by the name Orf. Wonderful job.
Let's call him Matto, because I don't want to butcher his name.
Matt Orfalia.
Matt Orfalia.
Matt Orfala. Orfala. Get it right. Orfala. If I could get it right, all of them should get it right. So there you go. There you go. Just adding in my 2 cents here for that one. So there you go, folks. Was I mean during the 4-minute video? Yes. Am I overly critical of the Democratic Party? Yeah, but rightfully so. I mean, come on. How many times have the Democrats squandered opportunities to do the right thing? All right, so let's add this all together. Roe v. Wade. They could have codified it. Hell, Barack Obama had the supermajority to do it. But you want to know why they didn't do it? Vote blue no matter who and Democratic sycophants? It's because they can no longer then fundraise off voters' fears. The Democrats could have done something about Medicare for all. They could have fought for us harder. Hell, even old Nancy Pelosi once sang high praise for Medicare for all and then fired it away because she didn't believe in it. Now, these Democratic lawmakers, they have gold-plated health care. They're living their best lives. They're not going to go bankrupt. They're not going to go broke. They got connections to big pharma, the healthcare insurance industry, or any other kind of lobbyist group that's going to take care of them. You see, majority of the time, your Democratic and Republican lawmakers in the United States Senate and House, you want to know what they're doing? They're on the phone calling their donors for more money so they can get ready for the next election cycle so they can then write more bills and legislation to benefit their said donors. And they go right back to that little office of theirs. They pick up that phone and do the process all over again. And for anyone that tries to reform the Democratic Party, it's like going inside the digestive system of a bear and thinking you could fix it from the inside. You're just going to be crapped out and fed upon by flies. That's it. That's what happens when you try and reform the Democratic Party. So Bernie Sanders, in his numerous attempts to once again reintroduce Medicare for all, it sounds good on paper, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are so excited to hear it. But will Joe Biden fight for it? Will Joe Biden approve of it? Will he veto it if it goes far? Yeah, he will. He's against Medicare for all. He's not going to do it. He's not going to fight for it. I'll be surprised if he would do that. That would be shocking. It would be incredible to see. But we all know the truth about the Democratic Party. They're corporatists. They're a corporation. They choose who's going to be the next nominee for the party. They choose who they feel will be best to represent their brand because they're a corporation. It's one big club, and you're not in it. But they get to have health care. They get to go on vacations, numerous vacations, by the way. It's impressive just how often they don't really show up for work. These jagoff politicians are scumbags, and they are professional liars, and they just need more money. But this time around, they won't cheat on you. They won't punch you in the face. They won't steal money from your wallet. They won't go behind your back and sleep with somebody else. This time around, just take them back. And they'll be okay. It'll be different this time. Break away from the two-party system, folks.